A very, very good morning to all of you. Happy Thursday to everyone. It's so good to see all of you after a week. Please start your cameras on here. I know a lot of you logged on a little earlier, came on, came off the session. Please log on to your cameras. We have some very exciting news to share with all of you today morning. We're just waiting for everyone to connect. Let me see if I can see everyone here. Okay, hi Geeta, Jaisal, BG, is that BG? Pala's come and gone again. Mitushi, Amishi, hi everyone, very, very good morning. It's so good to see more of you today. Otherwise, we're always waiting at 9 o'clock. Everyone is slowly getting out of bed, crawling out of bed, and getting to their computers, barely starting them. We're really thinking of reinventing them to making them more energizing sessions. Get everyone up, get everyone about, get everyone moving and talking to us. Okay, so we have some very exciting news to share with each of you today. We have done some of our few corporate workshops, school workshops this week, and they've been a major, major success, just the way that we have all of you here as an online community with us. Everything has moved so much that we can see everyone, but it's literally urging everyone to start their cameras. Everyone is on and off. And where we've done an in-person workshop now after so long, seen the energy of the people as we're connecting to them. We've done a student workshop this week, and we've seen the energy of young students, because students really are the future of our generation. The youth is the future, and seeing them in an empowered state, being able to bring some empowerment to them in any manner and form, is the start of something great. So we always urge everyone, Jenny, you feel like anyone can benefit, let us know. But we want to just simply share with all of you today the energy of what was there in the school workshop that we just did, in the corporate workshop that we just did. So Meg, if you will please start the slideshow for everyone. You're all family, and it's very, very important that we share with family any and every progress we have to sort of just bring together that community as well. Okay, so we Cesta actually went to State Street TP High School in Gujarat this week, and we had over 120 students that were there, all high school students that were there, but still such high energy. No student was sleeping or drawling or wondering why they're there. Everyone was as enthusiastic as could be. Please shift forward. Let's show them the students, the workshop that happened there. So a bunch of students, everything over 120, around 140, 150 students were there. Moving ahead, we want to share with you the energy that was there. Bring it forward. Let's show it to them till we get to this video, Mehak. We spoke to them about emotional empowerment, about exam anxiety, about how we can get rid of exam anxiety. Pause it. How we can get rid of exam anxiety, because that is a major thing that is there in students today. Students are crippled with exam anxiety, and this is not just for low performing students. We've had toppers come to us who've been to MIT, who are getting scholarship upon scholarship, doing so well. But the anxiety simply cripples them. So this particular workshop for the students was done on exam anxiety. But other than that, we spoke to them about emotional empowerment, about being connected to your emotions, about being connected to the power within. And for high school students, to not fall asleep, to not get bored listening to, a person talk for 3 hours, and to see the energy is something we want to share with all of you. Start, please. With volume. We can't hear. Can any of you hear it? We can't seem to hear it.
Are you all ready to shine?
Yeah!
Higher volume.
Are you all the power? Are you happy? You rock. અને તમને સ્કૂલને શું કરવું છે? સ્કૂલને કામયાબ કરવી છે? So just say, I am the power and I rock. Just say congratulations to yourself now. Congratulations. And clap for yourself.
Not one student was bored. Everyone was excited to talk about empowerment, to be there in that moment, to simply just enjoy what was there. And that is the empowerment we want to bring to as many people as you can. We always share our visions with each of you because you're a very important part of that vision for us. We always tell you, bring forward as many as we can. If there's anyone you know that would be open to this empowerment, whether it's a corporate, whether it's a school, whether it's an individual, leave the rest upon us. But for people that are open to it, for students that are generally sulking and sitting in a lecture, they would have sat there the whole day if they had it their way. It was a beautiful experience. And today, if even 1/10 of those students, I believe all of them probably would go home and talk about what they have learned or how they feel charged and they feel empowered. We've started a revolution there because we brought this to the villages on purpose. We started it at that base level where it is not something that people are aware of. Emotional empowerment is a privilege that a lot of us have here, that we at least talk about it. We might not do anything about it. We might only simply talk about it, but at least we talk about it. Over there in those areas where they're not talking about it, that's something completely alien to them. They've never had the opportunity to actually access that area. It was beautiful to bring that. And the following day, we had a workshop with Banas Dairy, which is one of the biggest dairies that there is. They also supply to Amon in some capacity. And the top executives did the workshop. They were dancing. They were talking about emotions, about patterns, about what patterns are stuck, what patterns can be shifted. Because at the end of the day, everything is a pattern, everything is a belief. And once we know what belief to change and how to change it, that's where the whole trick lies. So there were 90 of the top corporate, top management that was there from Banas Dairy that were there at the workshop, all enjoying the workshop, all completely enthusiastic with the workshop. Not only did they learn about emotional empowerment, but we also spoke to them about their beliefs, what limiting beliefs they had. They've done some beautiful releases for that, hypno meditation for that. They've also done, they were grooving, dancing in the middle of it all, just to break them out of their mold, where we are so comfortable in that, sort of routine of daily life, to bring in that movement also. Movement is energy. Energy brings action. Energy is in everything that there is. When you have energy, you can facilitate change for your life. And that is what was brought here to Banas Dairy as well. Now, as we're moving forward this week, now just pause the presentation, please, Mehak. As we're moving forward this week, what we really want to speak about in the session today is something that we had started, Daily Theta. If you remember what it was called, we had started the Daily Theta sessions with the idea of bringing Theta healing to each of you, letting you all know what it's about, making you understand what the concepts are around it, how it works, all of that, and making you experience it. As we grew, our vision grew even bigger. The purpose grew even bigger as we grew in a time of COVID. When we realized and saw that the need of the hour was not simply understanding Theta concepts, but for people to have their problems and issues addressed at the point that they were, we modified the format to actually facilitate that, to facilitate understanding about immunity, about emotions, about accepting yourself, about COVID. During the COVID times, we did lots of sessions on COVID, on immunity building, etc. All of you have experienced balanced emotional empowerment as well, because we realized that is something that could really, help each of you in a group setting, in an individual setting. All of you have experienced downloads as well. That goes without saying. Now, today, this is a vision we had last Thursday itself, but last Thursday flowed in a different manner, in a beautiful manner and released, thanks to one of our participants who was willing to share, and it facilitated a release for everyone here. But that brought us back to what about the core concepts that people actually wanted to understand, that people actually joined to understand. So now we're going to share with you some of those core concepts that are there, what they're about, how they're affecting our lives, how those tools can help us change. And along with that, we've also designed a module where next week onwards, you'll be able to experience some of those. You'll be able to do some of those readings. For the first time ever, we're launching a healer's fair, where we're going to have some of these theta readings that are there, that everyone can do at nominal prices, that they can experience and get that reading one-on-one for yourself, get that shift one-on-one for yourself. And it is something that is applicable not only to people who have no idea what theta is, but whether you're an old student, whether you're a new student, whether you're completely new to this, whether you've simply known us through these sessions on Zoom. If that is a reading you feel, if that is a space you feel you're in, where you want to understand, where you want some guidance, this is the time to actually access that. In today's session, I'm actually going to talk to you about a few of those concepts, what they are, how they affect our lives, what we can do with them. So even if nothing else, even if you do not want to experience it, just understanding it, getting back to the purpose of what Thursday Thought Clinic and the Daily Theta was actually about, and having y'all understand how these concepts work within our lives. We're also going to be doing a masterclass for which I'll share the details, where we're going to be talking about how our patterns are affecting us, give you all an opportunity to experience the fair as well. Mehak, please share the slides. And we will be doing downloads at the end of it as well. So 16th to 19th Feb, we'll actually be going to doing this healers fair. We're going to be having these 5 readings for people that people can experience at just like going to be 400 a reading. It's going to be guardian angel reading, baby in the womb, ancestor reading, higher self reading, or they can get personalized scan and theta downloads that are there. I'll be explaining you all each of these things, how they work, how they affect our lives, and what we believe are powerful offerings that people could experience if they wanted. So please move forward, Mehak. So I'm going to start with this thing, a simple baby in the womb, understanding what a baby in the womb is. Now, I've left this here for you to understand, for you to look at, for you to read. What I wish to do is have that conversation with each of you and explain you what it is. And baby in the womb is one of the most essential healings that there is. If you all remember, very early on, we'd done a whole baby in the womb week for you also, which was of course done in a group setting. Actually, Meg, put the slides off. I'll just explain it to them as is. I will share these with you all if you all need it, but I'd much rather see your faces and talk to each of you. Okay. So a baby in the womb healing is an extremely powerful healing. Today in this session, as I'm communicating with each of you, I have an opportunity to share that with you. It's something that we thought of this as a healer's fair. People go to an exhibition, go like, oh, cool, this is a tarot reading. I would love to experience it. People understand angel readings. People understand all of those things briefly. But a baby in the womb is something people generally do not understand or simply discard. But it is one of the most powerful healing tools that there is. Anyone who has learned theta here can attest to that. And those of you who have not as well, very initially, we've done a whole week related to baby in the womb, we'd explained the concept and gotten deep into what it is, how it can benefit you. But to simply, that was all done in a group setting. To simply understand it, we say most of our programming comes from the time we were in our mother's womb. What the environment was like at that time, how our mother was feeling, what people around were saying, how much it affected that person. Whether there was any anticipation of, will I be able to do this? I hope it's a boy. I hope it's a girl. Oh my God, this was too soon. Oh God, now I can't do anything with myself because I just have to rest. Anything at all. And a lot of you here have been through that stage of your life already, which is why you probably know that, you're advised good books, read good books, listen to good music at the time that you're pregnant. This is something that is advised in almost every culture in a different form or manner. In Hawaii, in fact, they say that nobody is allowed to be mean to the person who is pregnant. If they are, they're imprisoned for the same thing. Okay, because it is something that is extremely important. Why do they say read good books, listen to good music, go attend religious sermons, do those things? Is because that programming is going directly to your child. Now, while people focus on that, they still focus on giving us very old, redundant thoughts sometimes about, oh, don't do this, oh, do this only, oh, it should be a boy, it should be this way. Many of us have been through times. In olden times, people used to have a lot of work to do while they were pregnant. How they felt about it, how they took it. If they took it in a positive, let's do it attitude, that's what's passed down to the child. If they in any manner felt resentful for the same, for their partner not being around, for them having to do so much, anything at all, that might have passed to the child. We have seen cases where a person wished, I mean, it was just a wish that they always would have a girl. And for the first, when the kid was given to them and they saw it's a boy, they're like, oh, it's a boy. And then, of course, it's their only child. They've loved that child like nothing before. This is a student, when we were talking about this exercise, she shared her experience. Right? She's loved that child like nothing before, the only child that she has. But some of the other incident, and the child will suddenly be like, you will never accept me the way I am. And they feel it so strongly and they don't know why they feel it. And you seem to go like, I've done everything for you. Why would you say that? You'll never accept me the way I am. I'm always going to be alone. Any of those things. And so many times these are womb programmings that we felt at that time and we've registered. And this belief, these patterns, these emotions that we felt in that absolutely pure state, right? Because you have less clutter at that time when you're born, when you're in the womb. As something we start creating our life patterns with. We resolved somebody's asthma just doing a baby in the womb healing. The child actually did it for themselves. It was a twin situation and one twin was getting all the food, the other was barely getting any food in the sack. And that time the thing that, whatever I get, let me just take. That breathlessness that was there, that had translated to an asthma, when they did that healing for themselves, that resolved. We've had some major things resolved with just doing a baby in the womb healing, because all you're doing is what we cannot do in the physical world is you're going in theta and sending lots of healing, unconditional love, nurturing, and the correct environment and programming that the person needs when they were in the womb. We've had somebody who was divorced, who was staying with their parents and all, and we're doing a higher level class. And that's when the programming came about, where they were the third girl child. And that pressure that I have to be the boy for my parents, I have to be there for my parents. And from that point, the boy of the house stays with the parents, right? After they're married. Got married, had a child, everything, and then somehow situationally came back there. So much of our programming comes from there, and more often than not, we don't know what to do about it. So it's something that's an extremely important thing that is there. In fact, even if somebody has had miscarriages, abortions, anything of that sort, that energy also, we say, stays in the womb for a while. The next child that comes along could be affected a little bit by that energy. How do you heal that energy? You do a baby in the womb healing. Anytime anyone speaks about, now I myself, being a healer, knowing everything about this, right? I mean, I knew that, oh, how important the womb healing is. I knew how to do the process. I knew everything. I had 2 pregnancies post that. And touch wood, easy pregnancies. My children were like absolute blessings. Great. Didn't trouble me a smidge when they were inside. They'd listen to everything I said. But still, I had a very stressful situation around me. Because life happens to each one of us. And I would keep thinking, oh my God, what am I doing to this child? Because situations were so stressful that I was just crying and crying and crying. And I knew that was affecting the child. And I felt even more guilty because I know this and I'm still doing this to my child. But that is when someone simply told me in passing, going like, listen, this soul also knows what they've chosen. You need to stop being hard upon yourself for this. All I used to keep doing is keep doing this baby in the womb healing for them. Going like, I know things aren't great just now, but I promise you I'm doing my best and I will. And I used to keep passing that healing and I see the kids and I see how beautifully they're very perceptive, but they did not take on those things. So very, very transformative healing a baby in the womb is something that I believe everyone, if they have an opportunity, should get it done for themselves, because either they were working too much or sometimes it's financial pressures. In today's day and time, a lot of people are choosing to conceive a little later as well, because there's a lot of things that they're taking care of. Their freedom is important, not just freedom, but also financial freedom, etc. And in general, so sending, and more than anything else, sending them that child that unconditional love always helps, right? So you can do it for yourself. You can get it done for your child or for your parent that is there. If that person themselves does it, nothing like it, but someone you're womb related to, you can also request it for them as is. Extremely, extremely powerful healing. This you all have experienced. We actually had 1-2 people who were just doing inquiries, and they started this thing, daily theta sessions. And I remember the baby in the womb healing week happened. Before that, I told them, you really need to learn. And they were like, yeah, I'll see. This week happened. And after that, they were like, my period pain is just gone. This problem has just gone. And they continued on to doing these classes. And then a lot of transformation has happened from there. But it's extremely powerful. And if you're getting an opportunity to get it done one-on-one, it's a beautiful thing. Everything is going to be done on Zoom itself. But in general, this is my opportunity to tell you how beautiful that healing is, how important it is. Because we all understand that our parents being the best parents ever also possible. They also were doing the best that they could at that point. Today, if you think back to the time you were pregnant, you're like, I was so stupid. I used to do these things. But at any given point, we're doing the best we can in that moment. And to have that opportunity to heal that moment for our child, for ourselves, is an opportunity we get rarely. I believe if you get it, take it. That's the baby in the womb healing that is there. It's going to be a one-on-one healing that will be done for the person that requests it. Okay. Second comes the healing that is there. Then we're going to be doing a couple of readings that are there. A lot of people love readings. It's like tarot readings, angel card readings. You can ask your questions. They will be done in a theta state, of course. The person will be a theta practitioner, connecting to a higher wave. There's going to be a guardian angel reading that is there. So guardian angels are another concept. That's a new concept. I don't know how many of you know about it. But we all have guardian angels. We all have minimum 2 to 4 guardian angels that are there with us all the time. They've been with you since the time that you're born. They're there to guide you. They're that little voice that you hear in your mind sometimes when you're about to cross and you go like, wait, You might call it your intuition, but those are your guardian angels that are with you, there to guide you. Their whole job is to guide you. But the one thing about them is they completely respect your free will. So they will not push their guidance on you unless you ask for it. Most people don't know how to ask for that guidance. And when they do, they don't know if I'm getting that guidance. Is this just me thinking like this, or is it some guidance I'm actually getting? So with the guardian angel reading, if there are any questions, any guidance that you would like from your guardian angels that are there with you at all times. In fact, when you have tougher times, we have a lot more guardian angels appear. Okay. Then your guardian angel reading, you can do a back and forth. You can ask questions, get answers as to whatever you want to ask, whatever guidance you would like. Then comes the higher self reading. Our higher self is essentially a higher level of consciousness, our own higher level of consciousness. Our higher self is whom we decide our life plan with before coming on this planet. Now, this is the person, like your higher consciousness, you've decided your whole film script. You've decided, I'll take these learnings, I will do this, I will do that, I will do XYZ on my incarnation here. Now, this director also becomes a film actor and becomes the lead role in this film. They start acting in this film and they get so passionate about every scene that they forget that there was a bigger script that was to be followed, that eventually I was going to show that this learning comes about, that eventually this is supposed to happen. And they get so passionate about the role that they're playing that they get entangled in that only. कर्मा रिजॉल्व करना तो दूर हो गया, जो कर्मा बिल्ड किया उसी के ऊपर ज्यादा बिल्ड करते जाते हैं. Like, let's build more and more there, and then we feel very, very stuck in life. We feel like, I don't know if I'm doing justice to what is there. I don't know what is happening. I don't know why it's happening. But the higher level of consciousness knows what is happening or why it's happening. And it's probably the, energy to ask, to guide you and help you and say, like, listen, let's simplify this. Let's go back to the script. Let's stick to that. How do I make that transition? Right? It's your higher level of consciousness. Now, you guys, by no means are these the truth that is written on stone. Angels will guide you from their level of knowledge and loving. Your higher self will guide you from that point. But a higher self reading is something that you should do if you want that life guidance, if you want that guidance on what am I doing, why am I doing this, how can I do this, what is my learning, what is the best way for me to do this. Your angels will be a lot gentler. Your higher self might be a lot firmer. Depends from each person's higher level of consciousness. Be like, listen, this is this way. Your higher self is who you can communicate with and ask for help also if you need anything. Then listen, we need to get this going. Let's get this going this way. Again, question and answer format. You can get any guidance, ask any questions you want, get the answers. The healer will give you the answers. You can ask follow-up questions to them at that point during the reading. Yes, we can get to know our purpose of why we came. But this is not going to be why the universe sent you. That is called a divine timing. Universe said, "ये काम कर, I will give you whatever you want. मेरा ये एक छोटा काम करके आना." But this is your life purpose कि मैंने ये incarnation में I chose कि ये learning सीखना है, मैं सीख के आती हूँ. ये life में I will learn the importance of money. This life I want to learn kindness and this virtue. That your higher self can help you with. Okay? The healers would all be certified theta healers that are trained with us, trained under us. I myself will be doing some readings. There will be other healers doing the readings. That is something which we honestly are going to do more energetically, wherever it feels aligned. But these are all people who know what they're doing. They're all our students who have been trained, who we know are doing a fair job with you. Okay? Now, then comes your ancestor reading. I feel this is also something people disregard, but I feel it's a very important reading. I have seen some very sentimental ancestor readings happen. Now, why do I say that? Ancestor reading, as the name suggests, आपके कोई भी पूर्वज, any ancestor of yours, your grandfather, grandmother, dead dog, aunt, sister, husband, anyone, any ancestor of yours that you would like to connect to and get guidance from, that is something you can do with this reading. Other than get guidance, another very important aspect of this is, I always tell this to people when I'm teaching them in classes, closure sometimes. So many times we feel like a loved one passed away and we couldn't tell them what we wanted to tell them. There were so many things I wanted to say to them. I wanted to apologize for what I've done. I still needed to learn so much from them. I needed that guidance. Now, when we don't have that closure, what happens is, and that always happens, now how we say, okay, after a person passes away, suddenly you realize how important they were to you. So it always happens. It's not like it stops happening. But we feel like, I wish I said this. I wish I could have asked this while I still had the time. Now, when that happens, when we start feeling that way, what happens is we hold on to them, their energy in some manner. Depending on how attached we were or how much closure we need, if a person is fairly okay, then they won't hold on to it. Sometimes you're very, very attached, sometimes you're less attached, but depending on that frequency, sometimes you might stop yourself from moving forward in life. Sometimes you might stop that soul from moving forward in life, in their journey of evolution, because they are equally attached to you. They can't see you in this state. Why do we do these rituals everywhere across every culture, every religion? We do some sort of ritual around the 4th day, around the 13th day, where we light some sort of diya, some sort of light, candle, some light is there, guiding the soul and asking them to ascend. Why do people say, no, let them cry, let them get it out? Because if they're still in shock, they might still be holding on to that energy. When we do that ceremony, we're telling the soul to ascend to the bigger light that there is. Their light is gone as their body has passed. We're telling them to ascend to the bigger light that there is. Right? Now, this is something I actually did. I was doing a guardian angel reading for my grandmother, who is now 85, 86. I don't know how old she is now. Okay. And I was doing a guardian angel reading for her, not even an ancestor reading. And I kept seeing this energy, heavy energy over here. And guess what it was? Her mom had passed away when she was 8 years old. And she had all her younger siblings to take care of. A father who could not help much with that. Mother passed away because of cancer. That 8-year-old, of course, felt how it's impossible for me to do this. How am I going to do this without her? I need my mother. Now she has grandkids who have kids. I have kids, right? But that energy that might have been held back in that moment still stays. Because now, once that door, that grid has closed, there's no way for the energy to go back. That soul's energy, that soul's evolution has been stopped. Your evolution has been stopped. We've seen people who got major back pains and all coming from, oh, this is the only person in the family who understood me. A doctor, an orthopedic surgeon who used to come to us had major back pain. Major back pain. And she's done everything possible. None of her scans showed any physical problem. One second. I want to sneeze, but that'll come when it does. And when she was doing these classes, we teach the ancestor reading actually in the advanced class. And one of the things that actually came for her was that she had a whole family that was full of doctors, all based, of course, in very scientific grounding, scientific reasoning. She herself was a very spiritual person, believed in healing and, the power of God, the power of the universe. learned a lot of things, never used them. And there's this basic disjunction that was happening. One part that wanted to just evolve, relate to the higher energy, one part that was like, nahi, science hai, sab jo dikhta hai, wo hai, sort of a thing. And her grandfather was the only person who really could understand that for her, because he was part of that same family. Since he had passed, she had major back pain. She did this one reading, got that one answer, that one guidance from him, heard from him that one time, and it healed so much. That back pain was gone. Of course, she did a lot more healing around it, but that back pain was gone. So the ancestor reading is great for closure, great for guidance. Because sometimes we want to hear from someone that is our family. Now, if your stomach is really hurting, if you're really unwell, if you have had a breakup, if you've had anything, and someone tells you, go speak to your mom or go check on Google what happened. Google will give you the correct answer of what might be there. Or a doctor will tell you accurately, nahi, aapka ye problem hai, ye gas ka hai, ye karo, ye karo. But so many times you want your mom to tell you what it is or to help you through it, because she will tell you in the way you know you need to hear it. She will have that love, she will have that affection, she will tell you, she knows what works for you, she knows whether to scare you, whether not to scare you about this. So your ancestor reading is just that. They know how your family works. When you are saying, "Arey, मैं इसका क्या करूं family में?" They know the background behind it, because वो भी उसी से बाहर निकले. So they're like, हाँ, तू ऐसे कर. So your ancestor reading is essentially any ancestor you want to connect to, speak to, ask you. Sometimes you might not even want a question. You can ask questions, but we've had times people have just come and they just want to say what they want to say. Get it off their chest. It helps you move on, it helps them move on. So extremely powerful, sometimes extremely sentimental also. When you understand the value of it, you can actually utilize that reading with that value. Okay? And the last thing that is going to be happening in the healer sphere, so we have the baby in the womb, higher self reading, guardian angel reading, ancestor reading. And the last offering is going to be scan and downloads. Downloads, a lot of you already know. A scan is when we actually, a theta healer connects to you, sees physically, energetically, where are the blocks happening, where are the blocks happening related to a certain issue, and they can help you with downloads for the same. Okay, these are all band-aids. They're not going to solve all your life's problems. Let me please be clear with you on that. It's not a magic pill. It's not going to solve all your life problems. But what it can do is shift a lot of things. What it can do is give you a glimpse of what is. The reason I say it's not just for people who are new to this is because today, if I want guidance also, I can go and do that. Generally, you would have to book a full session to do that. You would have to pay for the session to do that. Here, you can just go get that reading. No, you're not going to get all readings in 15 minutes. Any reading that you choose will be 15 minutes, because 15 minutes is generally a good amount of time for that. 15 minutes, max 20. Because otherwise, people go on and on. They make everything happen in one reading. They're like, अरे ये भी थोड़ा ये कर भी थोड़ा ये भी करके दो, थोड़ा ये भी करके दो. But when you see the value in something, you approach it in that manner, you make it happen in that manner, that shift is in that manner. So while I say this is not a magic pill that's going to cure everything, I also know people who've cured, doctors who've cured years of back pain with a ancestor reading. I also know somebody who's fixed a lot of their relationships with a guardian angel reading. I also know a person who has fixed their asthma with a baby in the womb. But I don't make those claims to you that that is what happened with you, because it's individual to each person. But this is your opportunity, since we've been talking about it on this platform for so long, to experience it if you want. It's really at a nominal cost. So there's not much that you have to think about or do or anything of that sort. And you can experience it, you can understand better when you're experiencing something one-on-one. We're also going to be doing a theta masterclass that's going to be happening. It was going to happen on 8th. We rescheduled it to the 15th because a lot of people joined and they were like, okay, but they understand it, but they're not experiencing it. Experience makes all the difference. So masterclass is going to be happening on the 8th. Okay, and for that time, we're going to be talking about what patterns are there, how your patterns are affecting you, what is happening. I'm not going to be going through what these readings are. The Healers Fair starts the next day itself. Okay, and whoever's getting at least 5 people to the masterclass is going to get one of the readings free anyway. The masterclass, I believe, is $199. But whoever, otherwise also everyone that's participating in the masterclass, we're going to enroll them in a lucky draw and do some pulls and do some free readings also for people. They can do a paid reading in the Healers Fair, and of course, with the masterclass as well, they can understand what is there deeper. We're going to be speaking patterns. Where are your beliefs from? What is there? Understanding theta as a concept purely, not based off any theme that is there, like we've been doing immunity or anything else on the daily theta. The masterclass is for people to understand and get an orientation of theta. For people who are interested in learning it, to get their questions answered about theta. We definitely believe in the fundamental of learning because it decreases your dependency significantly. Any of our students who are here, however old they are, however new they are, I can say with confidence, because I know that they will vouch that whenever they need that guidance, we're there. But when we empower you with the tool, you don't need to sort of come back for the sessions so often. You can tackle so much as is. So just as an incentive for everyone that is taking the time to understand what is there in the masterclass, the masterclass is just $199, but if they're registering more people, we're giving them a free reading. Regardless, they can choose whichever reading they want. And if for other people, we're also going to be doing a lucky draw and seeing and choosing. We'll see based on the number of participants, whether to do 3 lucky draws or 5. For those to get a free reading as well, but highly encourage everyone want to experience it, know somebody else who wants to experience it. It's at a throwaway price. Go tell them, okay, this is what you need. You can go get this reading done. You're confused what to get done, you can ask. You can do multiple readings, whatever you require. But experience it, and more than anything, make those shifts for yourself. My father has asthma. He's not, how can I help him to get the baby in the womb session? Now, as I'm telling you now, BG, I told you about the case of asthma that was resolved with just a baby in the womb healing. We're very honest here about whatever we offer. So I can tell you that, I probably feel his asthma has more stuff to it than just the baby in the womb healing. But the baby in the womb healing is something that would definitely help regardless. But I do not promise you that wo karne ke baad his asthma is going to go away, because there are beliefs rooted at the center of a lot of things. Right? But to do that, healing is still going to be extremely powerful, because asthma is very related to breathlessness, being unable to speak, being unable to say what they wanted to, being unable to take the breath of life. Okay, and this is something where you can offer it to him. But baby in the womb, of all these 5 readings, is the only reading that in theta you can do, like, since it's your father, anyone who's womb related to you, which means your mother, father, or your kids, or yourself, that you can facilitate without them choosing to participate in it as well, because you're womb related to them. We can ask for that. You can ask him for permission. I'm going to do a healing for you. Is this okay if we get this healing done for you? But ideally, if a person chooses themselves to come there, is nothing like it. Everything is going to be on Zoom. It's a Healers Fair that's going to be very, very convenient for everyone. So there are going to be readings where you can just get to know more, or you can actually even get your solutions coming in. All right. All the readings will happen between 16 to 19. That's per the convenience of the therapist and you. So any of you, anything you want to experience, any questions you all have about any of these concepts that we discussed, because as concepts also, they're very important for each of us to understand. It's not just talking about a fair. Any concepts, any questions that any of you have? Yes, Deepika. Yes, Jaisal, of course you're allowed more than one reading. Master, it's a group reading. No, in the okay, so I'll just answer these two questions on chat and then take Deepika as well. So Pala, the master class is going to be about understanding theta. It's going to be an orientation on theta. There will be no readings done during the master class. As an incentive for people that are joining, because we had a lot of old students also join, what we are going to do is everyone who's participating in the master class, since the Healers Fair is following right after, we'll be doing a lucky draw, either 3 people or 5 people based on the number of participants. We'll let you know. The more, we'll do 5 readings. If they're lesser, we'll do 3 readings. 3 lucky draw. They will get one, like if supposing your name is chosen, you will get a free reading. You will get a free reading in the Healers Fair, whichever one you like. But if you're getting 5 people, you definitely get a free reading and you can choose whichever one it is or for whoever you want from those people. But in the masterclass, you'll be understanding concepts. We will not be doing the readings. They're two separate things. We're just having a cross thing that we're doing so that people understand also deeper. Okay, are we allowed more than one reading, JSL? Definitely allowed more than one reading. Encourage it because, like I said, generally a person would have to book a session to do any of these things because we don't do them just as the reading generally. So we've nitpicked the ones that we feel. That's why we're not doing a mini session. We're not doing a future reading or a manifestation because those are things that require more groundwork. You're allowed to do as many readings as you want. You're allowed to take it for yourself and for other people as you feel comfortable. Do we also get the downloads if needed? Downloads will only be done in the scan and downloads and maybe in the baby in the womb. In the higher self, guardian angel and ancestor reading, there will be no downloads. You'll need those 15-20 minutes for the reading and the answers. Downloads, if you want, you can take that and the scan and downloads or so, and then you can ask them to first do the reading for you and then do the downloads and scan. But the other readings, it doesn't make sense to do downloads. Otherwise, we would have included it. Deepika, sorry, it took so long. Tell me, please, what did you want to ask?
Okay, not at all. Richa just wanted to check if I go for the womb healing, would the healing be between me and my mom also and me and my kids also? Or would it be just one?
No, so if you're doing it for yourself,
Yeah.
it'll be when you were a baby in your mother's womb.
Okay.
So that will be the focus.
Okay,
If you're
not
doing
me and
it
my
for your
kids.
kids, then it'll be when they were in your womb. But they need to be separate, you guys, because there is so much to these things. There's so many emotions we're facing.
Yeah.
So many things. So many times a person didn't know themselves that, there were, for instance, that they had other sibling that was there, or for instance, that their mother was going through a certain thing. And when you're doing that reading, you can sense that. And that's the reason we even kept the time cap, because otherwise, when everything is smashed, and focus is not on one thing, then the result is also smashed.
So probably I can also do only with between me and my kids.
You can?
Yeah. So it doesn't, my kids don't need to be there, right?
No. Not
Okay,
because you have carried them.
Because I had twins and I had premature. So they were born in the 6th month. So I'm sure there
I
was
would
lots.
definitely recommend that, because what happens is there's a lot that they are facing in the womb.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
is
I'm
what
sure.
they're looking at healing. So you can actually opt for 2 baby in the womb readings,
Yeah.
one this way and one this way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really, I feel like there's no additional tax, nothing. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'll do it. How to book?
You mean each reading you need pay for each means? I don't understand. Yeah, whichever reading you want to opt for, nobody has to do all. Nothing is compulsory. If anyone wants to do, they will do that, because each reading will take those 15-20 minutes. So you pay for whichever. So it's not going to be, acha, ek ye ho gaya, abhi aap jao. They're going to be detailed readings that are there. So whichever one you want, yes, each reading is as per that. Okay. Anyone else? Any questions at all about the concept, about anything else you want to understand also? No? Okay. I'm going to just go see if there's any downloads we can do for today's session, just to take in the knowledge as well that we've gotten in, and then we'll wrap our session. Okay. So would each of you like to know that I know and understand the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of empowerment. I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to connect to the empowerment within me, to allow myself to be empowered, to allow myself to take the steps towards empowerment, for me to know and understand that the value that I hold, understanding self-worth, understanding value, and understanding appreciation, love, investment as per the creator of all that is his definition and perspective. I know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for me to value myself, for me to do something special for myself, for me to make investments for my own personal growth, that I know how to do those, that I know when to make those, that I know where to make those. I know that it is safe and possible for me to grow within my own space, within my own sphere, and to shine, that I'm ready to rock, I'm ready to shine, and I allow myself to do so in my daily life. That it is safe for me to shine and be amazing. I deserve to shine and be amazing and step into my potential, that I allow myself to take the steps that I require towards my empowerment and personal growth, understanding that this is a never-ending journey and that I make this journey willingly and voluntarily, that I'm happy to do so. Would you like these downloads into every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all four levels of your belief system, in any and every language ever known or understood by you for your highest and best and in your highest and best manner? Say yes to receive the downloads. And as you say yes, simply imagine a beautiful waterfall of energy, beautiful waterfall of light containing all these feelings, entering your system through your crown chakra. That light simply trickling through like a beautiful pearly wash, permeating every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being. And feeling energized, feeling graceful, feeling grateful, feeling thankful, with a big smile on your face. Whenever you feel ready, simply open your eyes. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. We look forward to connecting to a lot of you in the masterclass, in the Healers Fair, and regardless, connecting with you next Thursday. Take care and have a beautiful week ahead.